Hey guys, this is Dimitri Clinton. I'm a community specialist here at Bandai Namco, and I'm here with Steven Akana. He's a brand manager for Ni no Kuni 2, and we are checking out the Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom demo that appeared at E3. We're just going to do a walkthrough real fast and show you some of the features, some of the gameplay, some of the boss battles, and just some of the cool gameplay mechanics in the game. So, Steven, go ahead and start us off.
Yeah, I think what we'll do is, so the demo that we had at E3, it actually features two separate areas. For the demo, we really wanted to give people a chance to really just jump straight into the action. So both of the demos, King's Cradle showcases a mid-size boss battle, and then Longfang Lord of Flame, that one is featuring kind of more of an epic size boss battle.
Nice,
so,
I'm excited.
Both of them are a great way to kind of showcase some of the fighting mechanics that are in the game, because the combat is actually really different from the first Ni no Kuni.
Really unique, definitely.
And also, it goes into a bit of showing you some of the variety on how the Higgledies assist you in battle.
Cool.
One of the things that we were really highlighting in at E3 was the fact that the Higgledies are almost like your fourth party member.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that they're able to do to be able to assist you, you know, based on situations, things that they do on their own, things that you can command them to do. So really excited to show everyone.
Rockin'. So while we were talking, we actually heard someone talk over us. That was Tani, one of the Sky Pirates, right? Can you give us a little more background on her?
So you meet Tani pretty early in the story. It's shortly after both Evan and Roland escaped from Ding Dong Dell during the coup. Okay. So Tani is the adopted daughter of the leader of the Sky Pirates. She's a tomboy, very impulsive. She is a person of action that is all about, like, you know, you will prove who you are by showcasing who you are by what you do.
Got it.
So in the story, Tani is along with Roland, they're both really supporting Evan in his journey to become king again. And in this section, they're actually going to an area where they're going to be able to make a contract with their Kingsmaker.
Okay. And what's a Kingsmaker?
Kingsmaker is there is, for every person that is a king in Evan's world, there is a Kingsmaker that basically they make a bond together and they signify that person's right to be a king within this kingdom.
It's kind of getting approval to become like a full-fledged king.
Yeah, or it's kind of proof of their ability to be a king.
I see. Okay. And I actually want to go back really fast. You while we were talking, we also entered like a chibi-sized world map. Is that like a design choice that they did? Because I noticed now we have human-like proportions in our characters again. While we were on the map, we were kind of small, very old-school JRPG feel to it.
So when playing the game, like, so there's two distinctive design styles that you're going to notice.
Okay.
One is the very anime-looking character designs that you see right before us right now.
Yeah.
And they appear when you're in towns, if you're in a dungeon, and there's also the other version, which is like kind of, it's an overworld. So in between different countries, as you're traveling to these different worlds, you actually drop down into this little chibi form. And within that world, there's, you know, instance battles and a bunch of other little little gameplay mechanics that appear.
Interesting. So it's not just exploring.
Yeah, it's not just exploring, and it's purposeful in that, you know, the design team, they wanted to be able to showcase that kind of juxtaposition of like these kind of lush, realistic world environments against this more traditional animation style dungeons that you're able to encounter.
Got it. Okay, so design choice. Nice. And I'm guessing this is the trial that we're going to have to face.
Yes. So, and within this trial, actually, there's a couple different activities that you do, but for the demo specifically, it's fighting against this character, Dog.
And he's one of the Kingsmakers, right?
No, he is a part of the Trial of Courage. So,
I see.
in defeating Thog, Evan was able to showcase his ability to be king. So it's tested his courage and bravery.
Got it. And there we have the Higgledies, those small little guys that have different, I guess, elemental properties that can be used to help you, right?
Yes. So if you see like the fire Higgledies, they're throwing little swords over at Thog right now. The water guys are throwing some water attacks. So there's things that they'll do on their own, but if you see these Higgledies here, they're giving me an opportunity to be able to boost my attack power. Same with the wind Higgledies. If they give me an opportunity, I believe they will give me a shield buff.
It's very cool. Like if you're in that vicinity, that's how they work. I always thought you used like the right analog stick to control it, but no, they move on their own.
Yeah, so they have their own sensibilities in looking at what's going on in the battles, and you can tell there's always a leader to each of the groups, and the leaders are kind of signified by they'll have like a little neck charm. Like if you look at the wind Higgledies here, he has like a little
right
cape
there.
around him, or on the fire ones, there's a guy who has a little bulldog collar. And they're called Higgledy Heroes.
Okay.
So the Higgledy Heroes are almost like the generals of these little groups. So they're like saying, hey, come over here, we can give you a little bit of assistance, and then it's boosted my attack power.
That is some crazy attention to detail. I didn't even notice that when I played the E3 demo originally, that some of them have like a collars or a charm around their neck. That is cool. Can you customize these Higgledy Heroes, or they kind of just do their own thing?
We don't have any information on customization for the heroes, but there's a lot of cool information that's in the pipe. So I think this is a great first outing for people to be able to get a glimpse at these cute little sprites and seeing how they interact with you in the game.
Definitely.
And if you saw right there, so when you press the R2 button, you can bring up your different skills. So there's physical attacks, there's magic attacks. But if you hold down the button when you're doing that, you can actually use the different Higgledies to add additional elemental buffs to it. So if I'm doing a regular special slash, it's going to just have physical damage like that. But if I go ahead and charge it, then I can start adding in fire, water, wind, and then when I do the attacks, actually I was doing a heal right there. Pay attention.
And do you have to be within the specific Higgledy's vicinity in order to charge the attack, or you can do it from anywhere?
No, they'll come towards you as you're charging.
I see.
But you do have to hold down the charge for a little bit of time. The longer you hold it, the more different Higgledies will start to join in.
Okay. I'm really impressed by these graphics. The art style is just amazing in this game, and it just runs so smooth. It's going to be a crazy RPG once it's all done. I noticed there's like these blue orbs by your life bar there. Do you know what those do?
So if you look up at the life bar at the top,
some golden thing just popped out.
Get back here.
What is that?
So when you collect one of these, it's when at certain points, if you interrupt the enemy that you're fighting, it'll give you one of these orbs that makes you super overpowered for a short period of time. So you see that gold bar that's up at the top.
Yes.
So that's showing how much time I have to actually utilize this, and you can actually chain it multiple times. So I'm like, oh, give me another one of those gold guys.
So it can actually shorten the battles.
Yes.
Okay.
It's one of those things that it's not required for you to be able to, like, you don't have to be able to execute them to be able to win, but it does assist you in getting through battles quicker because you're attacking with much more power.
Got it.
But going back to the blue orbs, so as you're doing physical attacks, you see those little gems that are above the life bar?
Yes.
As if I want to do a physical attack or a magical attack, every time I do that, it's going to cost me one of those little pieces.
Okay.
But I can refill those by going and doing some physical attacks against against it.
I see. Okay, and that's how. So it doesn't recharge over time. You actually have to perform physical attacks in order to charge those the spheres up.
Yep.
Got it. Okay. And it looks like you're almost done with this battle. The golden overpowered mode really helped you out.
Yeah, and with this demo, we wanted to make sure that we were simplifying. Since there's a lot of new concepts that we're showing people, we wanted to simplify some of the gameplay. So rather than being able to swap between Roland and Tawny, this demo locks you to just play as Evan.
Okay.
But in the full game, you're able to switch with your other party members on the fly.
Nice. I was going to ask about that if I wanted to like switch to Roland.
You're going down, dog.
Wow. And there it is. Man, the character design is just ridiculous.
He's so adorable for a giant enemy.
Right? Mission clear. All right, one down, one to go.
We did it, Evan. We beat that horrible.
That horrible lump.
He's not that horrible.
I know, right? He's very cute.
And if we pass the trial.
So there we see
that means
Roland.
you'll get your
Can you tell us a little bit more about Roland?
So Roland comes from a completely different world. He ends up showing up in Evan's world kind of during the commotion of the coup that's occurring in Ding Dong Dell.
You've earned the right to
And Roland in his own world, he's much older. He's probably in his mid 40s, late 40s.
So he
And-
appears younger when he's
Yeah, he
in-
comes over to this world. He's strangely, he's much younger, and he in his own world is a president of his own country.
That
So-
might help Evan out a
that-
little bit.
It's kind of why he decided to stay in Evan's world, is that he sees a lot of himself in Evan and sees that, Evan has a lot of potential to be a great leader. So
Okay.
he decides that he's going to stay in Evan's world and help mentor and groom him to become a king.
Gotcha.
And that's a big theme throughout Ni no Kuni 2, is that your story, in this case Evan, but the idea that your story is crafted by the bonds and connections of all those that are around you, whether positive or negative. So when you have there's some villainous characters like Otto Mausinger. There's positive characters like Auntie Martha and the Higgledies. There's all
Batu.
there's all these different characters that will really shape Evan as he grows to become a king.
I see. So it sounds like it's a coming of age story for him.
Exactly.
Now, what it takes to become a king, a good king. Got it. All right, on to the next one, Longfang. I'm excited for this one. I've seen the opening cutscene. It looks amazing. I think we should just sit back and let people enjoy it.
Yeah, this takes place in an area that right after Evan makes his king's bond with his kingmaker,
Lofty, right?
Lofty. They end up traveling to this country called Goldpath. And in this world, there's it's a casino town, and that's Longfang. He's the guardian or the kingmaker for that country.
I see. Okay.
And for some reason, he starts acting very aggressive towards Evan and his party. They believe that something nefarious is going on, so they end up having to take him on in an epic battle in a volcano.
I saw that thing at the bottom: Butcher, Baker, Kingmaker. What is that? Is that just his titles?
It's kind of just that, for people who've played the first Ni no Kuni, they'll be happy to know that the team that was involved in the localization of the first game is also heavily involved in this one. So a lot of the nuance that they give to the localization is it's very similar and has that element of, even though nostalgia you usually don't say for games that are,
I would say wittiness.
Yeah, no, I mean it's something that's very unique to Ni no Kuni itself.
Definitely. And there we see Lofty at the bottom of the screen. He's giving Evan advice, or
Yeah, he's a part of the party, so he ends up acting a bit as a you can almost think like a Jiminy Cricket. Like he's a bit of a comic relief. He does a bit of story narration and gives a bit of guidance to some of the elements that otherwise wouldn't really be described to you in the story. So he plays that kind of character. It's almost like I think of him as like a character in a play, that their purpose is to guide themes and also provide that fun and comic relief.
It seems to be a common theme within this game is for Evan to have guidance. I mean, you have Roland, Tani, they all provide a different type of guidance. It's really interesting to see that. And that's an interesting accent Lofty has.
Yeah, I want to say that it's a Welsh accent?
Yeah. For those that played Ni no Kuni 1, there was Mr. Drippy also had a Welsh accent. Is he related to Mr. Drippy at all?
No relation.
No relation.
Yeah.
Got it.
So one of the things that I mentioned before about the Higgledies is how, given different situations, they might provide different opportunities to Evan. So in this case, there's you're in a volcano. There's a lot of different fire elements that you have to look out for, whether it's from Longfang himself or if it's from the volcano itself. So
You are about to die. I think you need to heal
I
up.
need to find those wind Higgledies need to help me out.
Yeah, there you go.
So the fire Higgledies know that if in this environment that it's that their power element is actually something that could be really helpful to Evan. So they will give you opportunities to be able to erect barriers that give you complete nullification from fire damage.
Interesting. So I just saw a green orb or shield form around you. What was that from?
That was from the wind Higgledies. So
Okay.
they're able to give you a buff that's going to help with shielding and defense.
Got it. The other thing I noticed during this battle, it's very strategic. You can't just hack and slash Longfang. He backs up, he comes forward, casts different attacks. You have to really use all elements of gameplay here. You have to use the Higgledies, you have to use Evan.
Yeah, the battles are pretty dynamic in that.
Super dynamic.
There's a lot of different things that you need to keep your eye on. Like in this case, the fire Higgledies are going to give me an opportunity to have a fire barrier, and I don't get any of that damage from breath of fire that he does. And those little fire rocks, they'll explode if you don't do anything about them.
So yeah, that's what I was actually going to ask you about. Why are you destroying the fire rocks that come down? Is there a purpose for that?
It will. There's the. Oh, I meant to do an attack there. There is the orbs to be able to do your special attacks. So not only is there a danger for having those fire blocks there where they can explode and they can give you damage if he breathes fireball at them, but it also helps you build up some of your orbs again.
I see. This is a really tough battle. I remember playing it at E3 and I thought I was just going to breeze through. I was like, oh, they made this demo for E3 just so people could pass it. I got smoked so many times, no pun intended. It was, it took a lot of strategy. I can't stress that enough. And with the real-time battle system also comes a lot of more different moves. You're able to jump now during combat. You're able to roll. Once you take out those red rocks, is that what refills the blue spheres here?
Yeah. If you see anytime I destroy one of those rocks, there's I think 3 little orbs will pop out.
Gotcha. So I'm guessing once you defeat Longfang, and I don't know if you can really go into this, does he, start helping you out? Is he vital to the story?
You're just gonna have to get the game
And find out.
Yep,
I figured
exactly.
that's the answer you'd give me. Fair enough. There's obviously a reason for fighting him, so I'm sure we'll find out down the line. Can you talk about like how many different Higgledies are we going to get? Are we going to see more than what we see here? Or is that another question where it's find out down the line?
It's like I said. There's a lot of really cool elements about the Higgledies that we've yet to share.
Excellent. Okay.
But that's one of the great things about working in video games is that, especially with something as wonderful as Ni no Kuni, there's so much stuff in here that we just can't wait to share with the audience.
We've barely scratched the surface.
Exactly.
Definitely. Longfang's design, is that like he looks like one of those Chinese dragons, like a dog, a lion?
Yeah.
Lion, I think it's a lion.
It's kind of lion, kind of dog.
Definitely a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell this is a time-intensive battle.
Yes.
One other thing I've noticed is each of the characters have different weapons. I don't even know if I should ask this. Are you going to be able to equip different weapons on the characters? I'm pretty sure I answered my own question, and we'll find out later on. But I did notice that in the demo that they all have different weapons.
No, and it's true that they have different weapons. There's different. Roland has he has a long sword. He also has a gun that he's able to use.
Right, I did see that in the cutscene. That's what I was actually heading towards, was the fact that Roland, he uses a sword, but I've seen him in a cutscene with a gun, with a strap. So that's really interesting, bringing a gun into this world. It still blows me away the amount of detail Level 5 is putting in the game. You see like the marks on Longfang's scales there, and his broken claws. And even when Longfang's at a distance, you're still able to cast spells and attack him.
Yeah, you have magical spells that you're able to utilize, and with those as well, like same with your other attacks, you're able to charge them, throw multiple attacks in his direction.
Would you say Evan's more cat or more person?
He is half and half.
Half and half, okay. Does his race have a name? Or is it just cat people?
I want to say it's cat folk.
Cat folk, I think I've heard that, yeah. You really dig in Roland's hairstyle with the ponytail. He's bringing it back. You don't see it too often, but he works it with the suit. I like that. And one other thing I've noticed is the design choice of the characters really brings out their personality. Like you could tell Connie's a tomboy. She's got her two pigtails just sticking out. They're not like braided or anything. She's just wild. She looks wild. And Roland's like buttoned up and suited, eloquent looking, if you will. Could definitely tell he's a president. Oh, 5 minutes remaining. Are you going to be able to do it, Steven? If you don't hear me talking, it's because I'm trying to let Steven focus on the last part of the battle. Like I said, it gets really tough, and it's hard for him to focus and talk to me at the same time.
I'm trying to just see like all of the different areas I need to be looking out for. Look at those.
Yeah, like I said, these battles, especially an epic one, or one as big as this, there's a lot going on. He's got to dodge the stones.
Help me, Higgledies, help me.
He's got to ask the Higgledies for help. And he's also got to listen to me talk about Roland's hairstyle. So there's a lot going on for Steven. I really respect the work that he's doing right now. It takes a lot.
Well, that's the cool thing with this, you know, with the different spells that you're able to cast. Like, you know, I can keep track of my own health and I can heal on my own. It's just making sure that I'm, again, keeping track of all those different things that can be going on at one time.
Got it. Even during the cutscene, you're able to attack him. That is interesting. So what's strange to me is we were at Golden Paw one moment, and then like were we phased into another dimension, or is this still Golden Paw and he just wrecked it? It's hard to say. I guess it's a rhetorical question for myself because I'm pretty sure you don't even know that yet. You know, it just seems like he came down and all of a sudden you're here. It almost seems like it's his like domain that he lives in.
3 minutes remaining.
I think you got this. I think you're able. I believe in you, Steven. So yeah, we're just having Steven finish this up. Almost done here. It's almost taken Longfang out. I believe he's gonna do it. I've seen him do it at E3. So as you can tell, not gonna be a easy game. I'm sure this ramps up. I'm sure this is a battle later on. But yeah, battles like this, it is a fully fledged RPG. It's like, you know, it may have a dare I say it, kiddie aesthetic, but there's a lot to it. And it'll ramp up and it'll teach you things. You're not going to go in there blind just fighting Longfang from the beginning.
Well, I think the one thing to think about is that, you know, the aesthetic is very much like most, when you think about most Ghibli style films or Pixar films, Disney films, there's something that's very ageless and timeless.
I like the fact that you mentioned Pixar, where it caters to kids, but there's like a lot of adult jokes. So it's like it's for general audiences. You know, there's jokes that adults will get, but kids can watch it too. And I think this is an analog for that, where kids can check out the cool visuals and the cool, like, you know, animated art style. Congratulations, Steven. But adults will enjoy like the combat, you know, and the depth of the game. So there we go. Mission clear. I knew you could do it, Steven. I had faith in you. Let's check out this after cutscene.
Longfang doing attacking his own kingdom?
That is a
He's
good
supposed to
question, Tani.
protect it.
His king's bond's been pinched, isn't it? Which means he's not a king.
What does he mean by
no more.
pinched? Stolen? That's what you know, like I guess the Welsh term, pinched.
I guess so.
Yeah.
If we don't get it back, and soon, your world's in big trouble.
Roland, man, he's just a sharp dresser. I like the scrunchie.
We have to do something.
He's rocking that.
Sure we do. Just
Very unique character designs. Evan doesn't really have a hairstyle that I would rock, but he makes it work with the cat ears.
I know it will be difficult, but if there's even a chance,
Very determined looking as Evan. So that's it. Ni no Kuni 2, we just announced a new date. January 19th is when it's coming now. It's coming to PlayStation 4 and Steam, PC via Steam. We're going to have more details as the game's coming along. We're going to try and get more playthroughs. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Steven, thanks again once again for joining me. It was awesome having you on. I'm glad you were the one playing and I wasn't. You passed all the trials here today. So yeah, thanks again guys for joining us, and look forward to more Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom content as we get closer to the release date. Bye!